Hello students, welcome back to my channel Study Time. The topic of discussion today is the chapter Sound of Music, part 1 of the book Beehive for class 9th. Evelyn Glennie listens to sound without hearing it. This chapter was written by Deborah Cowley. Deborah Cowley is a female author. This is very interesting title. The author Deborah Cowley says Evelyn Glennie listened to sound without hearing it. This is very surprising and confusing. I was also surprised that how can you listen to sound when you can't hear? This is the secret about the story, that how Evelyn Glennie was able to listen to sound although she could not hear. It is very difficult to imagine when a person is completely deaf. Students, I will ask you some questions. After ending the session, you can give the answer in the comment box. Okay? But for that, let's begin the chapter. This is the statement. God may have taken her hearing, but He has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels far more deeply than any of us. That's why she expresses music so beautifully. This is the statement given by a person about Evelyn Glennie, that although God took away her hearing power, she was impaired, but God gave her an extraordinary thing, and that was the sense of feeling. What was that? Yes, sense of feeling. She could feel very deeply than the normal person, and that's why she was able to express music so beautifully. Here is a picture you can see. Here's a picture of Evelyn Glennie, the girl who fought against a physical disability and made her life a success story. Who is she? Yes, she is Evelyn Glennie. Dear students, she is well-known multi-percussionist. Percussionist means a person who plays the drum, tabla, xylophone. That is called multi-percussionist. Okay? If you want to know more about Evelyn, you can search in Google. She is very beautiful, young and enthusiastic. Here's a video. In this video, she is playing xylophone. She has an Instagram account also. Do you know Rani Mukherjee had played a character of Evelyn? She is awarded for the film Black. This is very interesting and surprising fact. I will tell you between the story. For that, listen carefully. Rush hour crowds jostle for position on the ground train platform. A slight girl looking younger than her 17 years was nervous yet excited as she felt the vibrations of the approaching train. This is the scene of the train platform. It is underground. There is a huge rush at the platform. People are pushing each other to get way. Means यहाँ पे इतनी ज़्यादा लोगों की भीड़ है कि एक दूसरे को धक्का मुक्की करते हुए अपना रास्ता निकाल रहे हैं. There is a small thin girl. एक छोटी सी लड़की है. It is Evelyn Glennie. Evelyn is standing at the railway station waiting for the train. She feels the vibrations of the approaching train. यानी कि जो ट्रेन आ रही है उसकी वाइब्रेशन को वो फील करती है. She gets nervous and excited. Why nervous? because she is from Scotland. Scotland is a country in Europe. Life in Scotland is not as fast as in London. London has a very fast life. It is urban, whereas Scotland has farm and countryside. Countryside in the sense you can say land and village scene, or you can say rural areas. So that is called countryside. And also nervous because she is leaving London, and she is excited also because she is doing something that she always dreamed of. वो करने जा रही है जिसका उसने सपना देखा था, हमेशा इस सपना उसका देखती थी. She is going to the Royal Academy of Music to learn music. It was her first day at the prestigious Royal Academy of Music in London, and daunting enough for any teenager fresh from a Scottish farm. Daunting means frightening. Okay? But this aspiring musician faced a bigger challenge than most. She was profoundly deaf. Profoundly means completely, absolutely. Evelyn is 17 years old teenager and fresh from a Scottish farm. Scottish farm means Evelyn is from Scotland, which has more of farms and countryside. So she has not seen fast life. And she is nervous. Evelyn could not hear. She wanted to be a musician, but this was greatly challenging for her because she was completely deaf. Profoundly means completely deaf. She was losing it gradually. Gradually means slowly. धीरे धीरे जो उसकी नर्व थी वो कमज़ोर पड़ती गई और एकदम से क्या हुआ, वन डे शी वॉज एब्सोल्युटली डीफ. वो पूरी तरह से completely डीफ हो चुकी थी. Evelyn Glennie's loss of hearing had been gradual. Her mother remembers noticing something was wrong when the 8 years old Evelyn was waiting to play the piano. They called her name and she didn't move. I suddenly realized she hadn't heard, says Isabel Glennie. Isabel Glennie is the mother of Evelyn Glennie. Evelyn's mother recollects one incident when Evelyn was 8 years old. She says that Evelyn was waiting for her turn to play the piano, but when her name was called out, she did not respond. And her mother realized the Evelyn did not respond to her name, which means she did not hear her name being called out. यानी कि उसका नेम कॉल करने के बाद उसने रिस्पॉन्स नहीं किया. Okay. For a quiet while, Evelyn managed to conceal her growing deafness from friends and teachers. और उसने मैनेज कर लिया हाइड करना टीचर एंड फ्रेंड से, छुपाना अपनी डीफनेस को. कंसील मीन्स हाइड. But by the time she was 11, her marks had deteriorated. Deteriorated का मतलब होता है कि वो जो मार्क्स थे वो कम आने लग गए थे. ओके, इसकी जो परफॉर्मेंस थी स्कूल की वो बैड होने लगी. एंड her headmistress urged her parents to take her a specialist. जो उसकी headmistress थी उन्होंने उनको सजेस्ट किया, रिक्वेस्ट किया कि आपको उसे एक स्पेशलिस्ट को दिखाना चाहिए. It was then discovered that her hearing was severely impaired as a result of gradual nerve damage. तो ग्रेजुअली स्लोली उसकी जो नर्व थी, सुनने की जो नर्व थी वो डैमेज होती गई धीरे धीरे. They were advised that she should be fitted with hearing aids and sent to a school for the deaf. Everything suddenly looked black, says Evelyn. Evelyn के लिए क्या था? Everything was colorless. सब कुछ ब्लैक हो गया था, सब कुछ जैसे खत्म हो गया हो. This shows Evelyn had determination. She did not want to give up. She pursued her interest in music. Pursue means to follow. Here is a picture of xylophone. This is the musical instrument with a row of wooden bars of different lengths. But Evelyn was not going to give up. She was determined to lead a normal life and pursue her interest in music. One day she noticed a girl playing a xylophone and decided that she wanted to play it too. Most of the teachers discouraged her, but percussionist Ron Forbes spotted her potential. Spotted means recognized her potential. It means her ability. उसकी जो एबिलिटी थी, टैलेंट था, उसको रॉन फॉर्ब्स ने पहचान लिया था. Who was Ron Forbes? He was a percussionist. And percussionist means the person who can play tabla, xylophone and drum. He began by tuning two large drums to different notes. Don't listen through your ears. Who says this? Ron Forbes. Try to sense it some other way. और इन्होंने क्या बोला कि आप दूसरी तरीके से इसे सेंस करो यानी फील करो. Says Evelyn, suddenly I realized I could feel the higher drum from the waist up and the lower one from the waist down. क्या फील किया, क्या रियलाइज किया एवलिन ने कि वेस्ट यानी कि उसकी जो कमर है उससे ऊपर का जो बॉडी का पार्ट है उसकी वो हायर ड्रम की बीट को वो फील कर सकती थी. एंड लोअर पार्ट ऑफ द वेस्ट फ्रॉम द वेस्ट जो वेस्ट की डाउन की जो पार्ट है वो जो स्मॉल ड्रम है उसकी जो ट्यून थी उसकी फील कर सकती थी. Forbes repeated the exercise and soon Evelyn discovered that she could sense certain notes in different parts of her body. और उन्होंने क्या किया, जो एक्सरसाइज थी फॉर्ब ने रिपीट की एक्सरसाइज एंड सून एवलिन डिस्कवर्ड दैट शी कुड सेंस कुछ जो सर्टेन नोट्स थे, कुछ तो सुर थे वो उसको फील कर सकती थी अपनी बॉडी में. I had learned to open my mind and body to sounds and vibrations. Who said this? Evelyn. Evelyn ने बोला कि मैंने अपने माइंड को और बॉडी को जो साउंड्स एंड वाइब्रेशंस है उसको सुनने के लिए ओपन कर लिया. एंड द रेस्ट वॉज शेयर डिटर्मिनेशन एंड हार्ड वर्क. बाकी क्या था? स्ट्रॉन्ग डिटर्मिनेशन एंड हार्ड वर्क था. शी नेवर लुक्ड बैक फ्रॉम दैट पॉइंट ऑनवर्ड्स. उसके बाद से उसने पीछे मुड़कर नहीं देखा. शी टूर्ड द यूनाइटेड किंगडम विद अ यूथ ऑर्केस्ट्रा. यूथ ऑर्केस्ट्रा मतलब यंग जो उसकी एज के जो थे म्यूजिशियन जो ग्रुप में वर्क करते हैं, दैट इज कॉल्ड यूथ ऑर्केस्ट्रा. एंड बाय द टाइम शी वॉज 16 शी हैड डिसाइडेड टू मेक म्यूजिक हर लाइफ. आफ्टर देन शी डिसाइडेड टू मेक म्यूजिक हर लाइफ. She auditioned for the Royal Academy of Music and scored one of the highest marks in the history of Academy. She gradually moved from orchestral work to solo performance. Slowly she moved from orchestral work to solo. Solo means individual performed. She performed individually. At the end of her 3 years course, she had captured most of the top awards. And for all this, Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement. Evelyn won't accept any hint of heroic achievement means कि उसे ऐसा बिल्कुल भी उसने एक्सेप्ट नहीं किया कि उसने कोई बहुत बड़ा काम किया है, heroic achievement किया है. If you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there. Who said this? This is the line of Evelyn. Evelyn क्या बोलती हैं कि अगर आप स्ट्रॉन्ग हार्ड वर्क करते हैं और आप जानते हो कि आप कहाँ जा रहे हो एंड आपको ये पता है कि आपको गोल क्या है, एंड यू विल गेट देयर. डेफिनेटली यू विल अचीव योर गोल. And she got right to the top, the world's most sought after multi-percussionist with the mastery of some 1,000 instruments and hectic international schedule. और उसने क्या किया, टॉप पे वो पहुंच गई. शी गॉट राइट टू द टॉप, द वर्ल्ड्स मोस्ट सॉट आफ्टर मल्टी परकशनिस्ट. यानी कि उसने मास्टरी गेन कर ली डिफरेंट टाइप्स के जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट से, थाउजेंड डिफरेंट टाइप्स के जो इंस्ट्रूमेंट से उस पे मास्टरी गेन करी. एंड हैक्टिक इंटरनेशनल स्केड्यूल, और उसका बहुत इतना ज़्यादा हैक्टिक था कि उसे बिल्कुल भी टाइम नहीं मिलता था. ओके, इट इज़ intriguing to watch Evelyn function so effortlessly without hearing. Intriguing means fascinating. In our 2-hour discussion, she never missed a word. Men with bushy beard give me trouble. It means, अब ये कहते हुए एवलिन हंसती है. क्या कहती हैं, लंबी दाढ़ी वाले जो लोग होते हैं वो मुझे प्रॉब्लम क्रिएट करते हैं. एंड उसके बाद हंसने लगती है. इट इज़ नॉट जस्ट वॉचिंग द लिप्स, इट इज़ होल फेस, स्पेशली द आईज. और ये कहती है कि सिर्फ लिप्स को ही नहीं सुनने के लिए सिर्फ लिप्स को ही नहीं देखना होता है, पूरे फेस को और स्पेशली आईज को देखना होता है. शी स्पीक्स फ्लॉलेसली विद अ स्कॉटिश लिट. लिट मीन्स जो अ वे ऑफ स्पीकिंग, जो मतलब स्कॉटलैंड का जो स्टाइल होता है उस टाइप से वो फ्लॉलेसली बोलती हैं. माई स्पीच इज क्लियर बिकॉज आई कुड हियर टिल आई वॉज 11. When she was 11 years old, वो सुन सकती थी. ओके, सो दैट्स वाई वो ये कहती हैं कि आज प्रेजेंट टाइम में जो मैं बोल पा रही हूँ वो क्लियर बोल पा रही हूँ, क्योंकि वो 11 ईयर्स की थी तब तक वो सुन पाती थी. शी सेज बट दैट डजंट एक्सप्लेन हाउ शी मैनेज टू लर्न फ्रेंच एंड मास्टर बेसिक जापानीज. शी सेज कि मैं एक्सप्लेन नहीं कर सकती कि फ्रेंच को मैंने सीखा किस तरह से एंड जापानीज को लैंग्वेज को सीखा था. As for music, she explains, it pours in through every part of my body. It tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair. When she plays the xylophone, she can sense the sound passing up the stick into her fingertips. By leaning against the drum, she can feel the resonances flowing into her body. Resonances means echoes of sound. On a wooden platform, she removes her shoes so that the vibrations pass through her bare feet and up her legs. It means कि जब भी वो परफॉर्म करती है तो शूज़ को वो उतार देती है ताकि वो जो वाइब्रेशन है म्यूजिक की वो फील कर सके. ओके, नॉट सरप्राइजिंगली एवलिन डिलाइट्स हर ऑडियंसेस. मीन्स she is not surprised that she is giving happiness to her audience. In 1991, she was presented with the Royal Philharmonic Society's prestigious Soloist of the Year award. Says master percussionist James Blades, God may have taken her hearing, but he has given her back something extraordinary. What we hear, she feels, for more deeply than any of us. That's why she expresses music so beautifully. It means God ने जो है इसकी hearing power तो ले ली है, but उसके बदले एक ऐसा gift दिया है उसको. हम जो कुछ भी सुनते हैं वो हमसे बहुत ज़्यादा strongly वो feel कर पाती है. That's why और म्यूजिक को वो इतने सुंदर तरीके से वो हमारे सामने प्रेजेंट कर पाती है. Evelyn confesses that she is something of a workaholic. I have just got to work, often harder than classical musician, but the rewards are enormous. Apart from the regular concerts, Evelyn also gives free concerts in prisons and hospitals. She also gives high priority to classes for young musicians, and Richlin of Beethoven, fond of deaf children, says she is a shining inspiration for deaf children. They see that There is nowhere that they can not go. Means she is the shining inspiration for deaf children. And जो बच्चे वहाँ नहीं जा सकते वो सब कुछ करने में सक्सेसफुल है. Evelyn Glennie has already accomplished more than most people twice her age. अपनी एज से भी ज़्यादा वो accomplished है. She has brought percussion to the front of orchestra and demonstrated that it can be very moving. She has given inspiration to those who are handicapped people who look to her and say, if she can do it, I can. And not the least, she has given enormous pleasure to millions. It means कि अगर वो कर सकती है तो हम भी कर सकते हैं. ये कोई कम नहीं है कि उसने बहुत सारे लोगों को एक प्लीजर दिया है. enormous pleasure to millions. Okay? Now this is the end of the story. Students, what is the conclusion of the story? Or you can say the moral of the story. The sound of music is that we can acquire success in whatever conditions we are in. God has created many of us in healthy forms, but we are always lazy to do things, finding excuses every time. Evelyn said, if you work hard and know where you are going, you will get there. Definitely you will get there if you know your goal. Now, this is the end of the story. I hope you have understood. Here are some questions from the chapter for your practice. You can drop the answers in the comment box. Let's start. Question number 1. When did Evelyn feel everything so dark in life? Option A. When she was advised to go to a deaf school. B. When she performed poorly at the examination. C. When she was advised to use hearing aids and go to the deaf school. Or D. When she failed in her music audition. Question number 2. What was Ron Forbes' advice to Evelyn? Option A. To score well in the exam. B. To play the guitar. C. Don't listen through your ears, try to sense it in some other way. Or D. To leave music. Question number 3. What is the name of the master percussionist who praised Evelyn? Option A. James Brown. B. James Woodson. C. James Horn. D. James Blades. Question number 4. Who said, if you work hard and you know where you are going, you will get there? Option A. Ron Forbes. B. Evelyn's mother. C. Evelyn. D. James Blades. Question number 5. Who said, it pours in through every part of my body, it tingles in the skin, my cheekbones, and even in my hair? Option A. Ron Forbes. B. Evelyn's mother. C. Evelyn. Or D. James Blades. Now this is the end of the question answers. We will meet in the next video. Till then, keep learning.